Hearing that they, lost $25 million also seems pretty crazy. Hey, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Yap Sesh with this idiot. Very clear before I even get going, this information and the screenshot I'm going to show was produced by Foundation Disc Golf. They did a much more in-depth video, from what I understand, about this topic. I just wanted to talk about a few things. I noticed that House of Discs, aka Dynamic Discs, sponsored somebody today. So I just wanted to make a video about that, simply because hearing what's going on and what I've been kind of reporting on the last few videos, and then them adding people, is kind of crazy to me. And then also hearing that they, lost $25 million also seems pretty crazy. So jumping right into it here, we have a profit and loss statement. When you're in a European country, you have to show a, like a P&L. So they're claiming operating costs in 2023 were $60 million. They're claiming that net operating income, $20 million. So they're claiming net income is minus $25,400,000. So obviously this is taxes, right? We live in America. We know that you do everything you can to try to get your taxes down, whether you're a normal person that works at Target or you're a bazillionaire. The goal is to somewhat pay as minimal taxes as possible. So a lot of this stuff is probably things where they're like, hey, end of the year, let's buy $9 million in machines, or let's do something. But here's the part to me that is shocking or surprising, or whatever word you'd like to use, is total income in sales, $35 million. And granted, this is a compilation of brands, so this is a bunch of brands, but $35 million, that's nothing in terms of an MLB contract. That's nothing in terms of, huge sports. But for disc golf, for one company, no matter how many brands they're representing, one company to do $35 million in sales is honestly pretty impressive. Especially, in my opinion, from a brand that you guys in the comments, or my perception or other people's perception, is, oh, they suck, Latitude sucks, DD sucks, Dynamic Discs, whatever it is. Oh, they're not doing good, they suck, blah, blah, blah. Ricky and Kona and whoever aren't selling any discs. To see they did $30+ million in sales is honestly pretty astounding to me. And then to hear that they turned $30 million in sales into a $25 million loss, is that venture capitalist, hey, our yacht company is doing really, really well. They profited $40 million and we can't hide it, so we're going to hide our capitalist lost in $25 million in disc golf. I don't know, and honestly, it's really not my place to report on that. But it makes you wonder, how good is the landscape of disc golf? Because I've been saying that I think it's going down, and I think if you look around, it's going down in terms of people playing and people interested and people doing things. By people playing, I don't mean like your local course still being packed on Saturday morning. I'm saying people playing in terms of like tournament signups. I mean, I remember during COVID and, a year afterwards, it was like if you wanted to get into a tournament, whether you're a pro or an AM, you were signing up the minute it opened and it was full. Now it is no longer that way. So by players, I'm not talking about the casual groups that still go out on Sunday and have a few beers and play disc golf. I'm talking about the actual people that are like jonesing to play a tournament and fighting to sign up and, doing all that. Those are the things I'm talking about. The die-hard disc golfers, because in my opinion, those are the people that also buy the carts, buy the squash bags, do all that type of stuff. So that scene, I feel, is dying, but $35 million is pretty strong. And now I don't know what, Innova does. If they're doing 35, maybe Innova's doing 300. Discraft's doing 500. Who really knows? I mean, somebody knows, but I certainly don't. But that was the most shocking part to me. Isn't that they lost, $25 million bucks, because, like I said, they're a capitalist firm. They're, doing it their way. So maybe, they bought in disc golf thinking, hey, if we ride the wave and it keeps going up, fantastic. If not, this is going to be a pretty good write-off opportunity for us. And I know that there's people that start businesses or start things that are, in mind of being a write-off, whether, and even people who own businesses, they buy the G-Wagon because you can write it off. They do certain things. You don't need a G-Wagon, but if you can write off $100 and something grand in a year, why not? So there is some part to beg of, how much is or isn't actually a business doing good or bad, and how much it is that they're doing great other places, and so they literally just don't care to report the correct information on the disc golf side. But the revenue, I'm sure they're not lying on that, right? And if they were to be lying, or answering or putting down the correct number, I believe it'll be on the low side in order to obviously, they're probably not going to make 80 million and say they made 120, but they might make 40 and say they made 35. Whatever. You want to, with the tax stuff, you want to obviously shoot low, and that's, I think, what most people do. They try to get cash and not pay the taxes on that, because that's the way that the world kind of works. So 35 million, whether that's accurate on the dot, 100% accurate reporting, or that's a little low, is honestly pretty impressive. And I get it, that's a lot of brands wrapped up. But when I think of Latitude, when I think of House of Discs, right, I think of Gannon is there, I think of Ricky is there, I think of Kristen is there. And I'm not leaving any people out because I am trying to be rude. Those are just the people I think of when I think of House of Discs. I think of those three players. So the fact that the brands, the companies, the players are bringing in that type of revenue is honestly pretty amazing. And then you have someone like Chris Edson, who did that Reddit thread after he got fired, saying that there was no profit or return on investment on Ricky's contract. I think 35 million bucks has to be coming from somewhere. And even if it's not Ricky's contract, hey, we sold $1 million in Ricky's discs, I think that the fact that he has D's on his back playing winning tournaments might be enticing people to try the Marshall or whatever other putter. And obviously $35 million worth is a pretty substantial amount. So this is going to open my eyes to disc golf, the inner workings, the outer workings, because I kind of just assumed, hey, if you're paying Ricky X money and it doesn't seem like he's making X, he's a loss. But I do now more so understand and think that has to be a big part of, it's not just a loss if you're not making money return on their product. Them representing your product might be getting people to buy other product. And I think that that's shown by this thing here. And like I said, the loss, it sucks. Sucks. But, I think that the sales is more telling to me about where the sport is. And it's a lot higher than I would have guessed, honestly. I didn't think it was 3 million, but I wouldn't have guessed 35 in 2023 based off of, just how I felt the market was going and things like that. So overall, disc golf is in a weird spot. We have venture capitalists in here trying to kind of either make a living or cover up their other living from disc golf. Which one, I have no idea. But yeah, I'm interested to see what the reporting is for 2024, whether the revenue is at 13 million, and that's why we might be seeing this kind of players getting cut, kind of cutthroat situation in disc golf right now. But either way, I'm interested to see, and I thought that talking about this would be worth it. If you want to see a more in-depth breakdown and like line by line of that chart I showed, make sure to head on over to the Foundation Disc Golf podcast, as I know that they went like line by line, talked about it, gave their opinions. I obviously didn't do that. I just wanted to speak about the $25 million loss, why, how, what my opinion was, and then, but recognize the sales, because I think that's pretty impressive. So overall, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you back on the course in the next one.